It seems like the utopian future we were all working towards, where everyone, regardless of race or gender, was happy, content, and safe within their own little world. It has finally come crashing down on all of us. Now we can never truly be happy and achieve the unthinkable, and our dreams will remain just that. Dreams.
Why? Is that because Donald Trump has finally become president?
No, you fucking cuck! It's because mainstream VR is fucking dead on arrival.
Now before we get started, I know we said we'd be doing this show over on our new gaming channel, and we will.
Yeah.
Starting soon, but we're still getting things set up for that channel. We want to make money there, and that takes time.
Yes.
And we want to make sure everything's perfect before we do so. So click on the link in the description to go subscribe there. There's nothing there, but there will be stuff there.
It'll be there soon. Don't
Tugs
worry.
is moving.
Yeah.
Soon.
And we're gonna be doing gameplays there. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So let's get started. The HTC Vive.
Yeah.
The Oculus, and more recently the PSVR. 3 of the biggest chances that we had to bring virtual reality into the mainstream with something more powerful behind it than just taping your cell phone to your forehead. All 3 are actually pretty impressive pieces of technology that are sure to impress anyone who puts them on for the first time.
Absolutely.
Even the PlayStation VR, despite its very clear lack of power, is a damn good entry into the field, and one that we hoped would appeal to a massive audience thanks to the pre-existing install base of PlayStation 4 owners.
But Matty Sumida was right. Rest in peace. I guess it turns out we're wrong about all 3. And just to get the Vive and the Oculus out of the way, we'll say that they are both still incredibly impractical, mainly because of the amount of money and space needed to enjoy them to their greatest capabilities. Sure, the price of a VR-ready PC rig, it's dropped over the past year, but not to a point that would make investing in virtual reality a financially optional decision for a large percentage of people who are even morbidly curious about the experiences offered in modern VR. Then you need to have a dedicated space with enough room to track your motion properly and not accidentally bump into things or hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Who's got all these rooms lying around?
You know, here's a great alternative. Go to the bank, take out $800 in 20s, put it in a wad, and tape that to your face.
Yeah.
Probably more fun. Mm-hmm. And yes, we know that you 1%ers out there, you fat cats and big wigs up in your condos and corporate luxury suites, you already have super beefed up PC rigs and plenty of extra rooms in your mansions so you can go play around in VR unrestrained.
Woo!
But for the rest of us, the 99% out here, the PSVR was a much welcomed entry into the space and for the most part allowed you to stay seated for most of its experience. Standing up and moving around does offer more immersion, and there are PSVR games that allow it, but we're going to support the sit-down style just for the sake of argument and laziness.
Yes.
The PSVR launched and quickly became a highly sought-after item. Or so it would appear, because it kind of ended up being another example of false scarcity.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to get one, you could, but it wasn't easy because everywhere was sold out for a few weeks.
Yeah. Or you can just wait till you see someone returning it to the local store, buy it off of them. Anyways, highly optimistic estimates claim that the PSVR was going to be a huge smash hit, easily selling over 2 million units during the holiday season. Sadly, it was only able to move an estimated 750,000, and that number could be wrong too. That does sound like a decent amount, and it is a decent amount, but is 750,000 installs a big enough number for large game developers and studios to dedicate time and resources to creating games specifically for that piece of hardware? Probably not. And by comparison, reports claim that the HTC Vive has only sold around 150 to 200,000 units, and rumors are that sales of the Oculus are even lower than that, based on data from Steam, which shows what people are using which thing to play VR games. It's pretty #sad.
Well, you don't need, the Steam numbers aren't accurate, because you don't need Steam to use Oculus, they have their own portal.
That's true, but Steam is arguably the biggest distribution platform, so it would make sense
but
that
with the Oculus, you get the Oculus platform, you can run everything right from there.
people who are buying the Oculus are going to use Steam for some things. Oculus, their home platform, doesn't even offer near the amount of games that you can actually play. If you open up Steam, you have way more options. Steam is a long-standing distribution platform.
Yeah, Steam's a great way to be like, oh, look at all these VR, oh, not compatible. Okay, cool.
There's a lot of
I'll write my
compatibility.
congressman.
Anyways, it's still pretty sad.
But back to the PlayStation Virtual Reality Machine.
Yes.
When it launched, it had some decent launch titles and some hope on the horizon. Games like Eve Valkyrie, Job Simulator, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, Eagle Flight, Hollow Ball, Battle Zone, and Riggs.
No, it's just Riggs. It's just Riggs.
Out of all those, Riggs was probably the game that had the most lasting power. It was polished, it played well, it was multiplayer, and it had the very unique ability of remaining fun after multiple matches and lots of sweat on your forehead and tears trapped inside your face from losing so much.
Yeah.
Other titles and experiences like Batman Arkham VR are kind of one of a kind and one and done sort of thing. The only other enjoyment you could possibly get out of them is by having some friends over and watching them experience it for the first time. You don't have friends anyway, so that's not not even relevant.
Take that off
You're
the
watching
list.
this show, you have no friends, so scratch all that.
Yeah, you know what's more fun than watching your friend enjoy Batman Arkham VR? Watching your friend watch our show for the first time.
Yeah.
Take whatever friend you can find that loves Nintendo more than anything on earth, and make him watch a couple of our episodes and just enjoy that.
Film it and tweet it at us with the hashtag TugsReact.
Don't do that because we'll get sued by those damn
we're
Fine
doing
brothers.
TugsReact.
Anyways, this is where it starts to get murky for even the PSVR. PSVR, it's obviously backed by Sony, and I'm sure that they actually wanted it to succeed. But since the initial launch titles hit, and a few others that were scattered through November, there's pretty much nothing on the horizon that would give owners a reason to dust off their headsets and spend hours upon hours in a virtual world. You do have Resident Evil coming out next week, but a decent amount of owners probably aren't going to be looking forward to getting the living shit scared out of them for however many hours straight. Then, of course, you have that Star Trek game. But again, I mean, kind of a niche audience. I know Star Trek is big, but when you consider how many people own it and how many people actually want to play it, the numbers go down. And that also just seems like another one-and-done experience that has no real lasting power. How many times are you going to replay that game?
I think you underestimate the tenacity of Trekkies.
Maybe I do.
Jason Inman's gonna have that thing just showing up at his door on day one, and he's gonna be like, I'm quitting my job.
Yes. He loves it.
Yeah.
And Scott Mantz.
Scott Mantz is old. He doesn't know technology.
What is this?
The only technology he knows is the TVs on the backs of seats in New York taxi cabs and little screens at gas stations that interrupt you while you're peacefully pumping gas.
I'll stick to the books.
Anyway, this is all in addition to the fact that the developer behind Riggs, the game that we mentioned a second ago as being one of the only ones that actually has replay value, they were shut down by Sony this week.
Yep.
And they announced that the game will never receive any new content.
Not canceled, but banned. Banned from working.
So that right there should say all you need to know about Sony's current confidence levels regarding their own hardware.
Yeah. Hey,
Jesus.
Hey guys, you know how you developed the one actual great game for this hardware? You're fired.
Yeah, well, it was more like, here's your knife.
Yeah, now please cut your insides out in front of us.
Mm-hmm. So what the fuck can save the virtual reality industry as a whole? Well, we don't know. We're not entirely sure that anything can. Maybe that Ready Player One movie.
The Nintendo Switch.
Fuck you.
It's not virtual. What, are you going to tape it to your face?
Anyway, at least for gaming, we're screwed.
Yeah.
No, there's no hope. As of right now, it's kind of a hassle to acquire and fully enjoy VR. The only thing that we can think of that can change is creating some kind of hugely popular social application for it, which we sort of got a whiff of during Oculus's press conference last year, but, you know, they're a little busy right now being sued or having their executives arrested for trying to pay for underage prostitutes at the moment. So, who knows?
That's a true story, by the way.
That's not a Tugs jab.
That's an executive tried to buy a child
just
prostitute off of Backpage, I believe it was, and now he's arrested.
So who knows if or when we will ever see progress on that front.
And Sony, by the way, for all their honest attempts at trying to make the PSVR appealing, they had the chance and capability to reintroduce PlayStation Home to an entirely new generation of users with new hardware that would actually make it appealing. It was literally right there, and all they had to do was throw a minimal amount of funding and effort at updating what PlayStation Home was and what it could be with users who would definitely enjoy living in virtual reality with other real virtual people. Mm-hmm. There is essentially zero social aspect to the PSVR right now, and that honestly is more immersion breaking than any screen door effect could ever provide.
By the way, we know there are social games sort of available, like Sports Bar VR, But they aren't good enough, and users who coughed over the money for this hardware should have a free option available for them to interact with other users and hang out with them in this space. Maybe these companies will get their shit together. Maybe developers will eventually risk some big bucks to make something cool that is infinitely playable for VR. Maybe we'll instead use VR for other applications. Who knows?
Pornography.
But right now, with the obvious lack of releases from major studios and the dwindling sales numbers, the future doesn't look too good, not too bright. Because if you can't get people excited about it right now, it's going to be harder to convince them in the future that it wasn't just a gimmick in the first place.
Yeah. Now, since we're on the topic of hardware that can't possibly live up to people's ridiculous expectations, it's time for your weekly rundown of all things Nintendo Switch. I'm sure all you future Nintendo Switch users are eagerly awaiting its release so that you can play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in glorious 4K on that oversized TV you bought back on Black Friday. Well, too fucking bad, because the Nintendo Switch, dock and all, will only run this game at 900p when you plug it in and try to sit back on your couch for some non-mobile gaming action. Yeah, that's right. A brand new game console in 2017, where even a 1080p television barely costs over $150, will not even allow you to play their game at that resolution. It is 900p or bust, baby. But I guess it doesn't really matter because the graphics look like ass anyway. You would just get to see those shitty graphics in a higher resolution, which might actually make it worse.
Yeah.
Let's get a higher resolution so we can see the textures. Oh, there isn't any textures at all.
It's just pure garbage.
It's just pure garbage.
I think I'll go back to playing it on the 6-inch screen that they've provided with it.
Yeah. The Switch looks best when you're holding the screen as far away from your face as possible. And if you have prescription glasses, take them off.
And don't sit it near your testicles because it will probably make you sterile.
And they probably got those Chinese exploding batteries in it.
Boom.
Anyway, so what the hell is that dock good for anyway? Well, it's good for nothing, actually. It's quite literally a box that holds your Switch upright and acts as cable management. They could have made it out of wood.
In fact, go and make your own out of wood.
Yeah, seriously, that is it. The cable that you could plug into the Switch is the thing that charges it and sends the signal to the TV. The Switch dock just kind of keeps things nice and tidy. And don't get us wrong, cable management is important. More important than you realize. And it makes you look like less of a slob. But this is a pretty damn underwhelming revelation.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what else does pretty much nothing except tidy things up? That plastic block you get with the Switch that keeps your little Joy-Con controllers together and creates a dumb-looking bigger controller that we all know is actually just two tiny controllers taped together.
You're not pulling the wool over my eyes.
Oh, look
Nintendo.
at my big controller.
Actually, that's two tiny controllers.
I think I know what's actually in your hands there,
So
buddy.
obviously, you would assume that at the very least, the connective tissue between your two dongles would. We should start calling that piece the grundle. By the way, that's the grundle.
Grundle between the dongles.
Yeah. You know that piece of connective tissue between your two dongles?
The grundle.
The Nintendo Switch's grundle?
Yeah.
You would assume that would maybe act as a charging device for the Joy-Con, since it would be very beneficial to keep wireless controllers charged as easily as possible between uses. Well,
wrong!
Sorry, yeah, it's actually just another piece of plastic, but hey, don't fret, guys. You can throw another $30 into Nintendo's pocket because they will sell you the exact same thing, but this time it has a USB port on it, which allows it to charge your Joy-Cons. Gee whiz. Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah. The electric grundle's gonna cost you.
You can buy the upgraded premium grundle for $30.
Yeah.
It's the gooch. They should call it the premium one's the gooch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a gooch or a grundle?
I'm a gooch.
Look at this poor piece of shit. He's only got the grundle version of the the Nintendo Switch controller. Yeah, I got the gooch.
But that's not all we're pissing off Nintendo fangirls off with this episode, because we have the honor of also reporting that the free games that Nintendo so lovingly provides you with each month with their new paid online service are actually only playable in that month. And you only either need to pay up or delete them at the start of the next month.
Cool.
You like how, PlayStation Plus, you know how that works?
Yeah.
Not that. So, it's not that you would want to play any of these games. They'll probably offer for more than a month anyway.
Yeah.
But this...
Listen, I've had my fill of Kid Icarus. Let's move on to the next month.
Yeah, regardless, this does spit directly in the face of other platforms like PSN and Xbox Live Gold, who allow you to keep the free games you've downloaded using their service for as long as you have a paid account.
Yeah.
So enjoy Nintendo's cool new extended vaporware demo service, I guess.
Yeah. Now that you have sufficiently garnered enough hate for us, I guess let's just leave Nintendo alone for now and move on to other topics.
But,
wait, no. We have to tag Team Shibby in right now because I can see his face and he is steaming with jealousy. He's over here in the corner and you can tell by the look on his shiny face that no one on Tugs should be hated more than him. Well, by all means, Shibs, take the floor.
My turn.
Yeah, it's your turn to get people to hate you.
Did you,
This was a white shirt that you washed with a red shirt, wasn't it?
No. This is
All
how
right.
the shirt came.
All right. You threw your gaming great hat in with the laundry, and that's how it came.
Tugs boys and Tugs girls, I am back once again by unpopular demand on a show I actually thought got canceled in 2017. Much like Trump now taking office, canceled the libtards' hopes and dreams for the coming years, I've set my sights to the east and what these crazy Japanese people perceive the future of video games.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Nintendo Switch will have its time on this show come March, but for now, or I guess currently, I'm gonna review one of its games. But Shibby, how in the world is this ethical to review an unreleased game?
We make the ethics around here.
Simple viewer, it's Tugs, and we don't care. So, I watched Nintendo's conference, and the first thing that stood out to me was this little WarioWare ripoff called 1-2 Switch. While no one has the full details, or the game for that matter, this is clearly a money grab attempt by Nintendo to recoup revenue from the failing Wii U times. Did you get that reference?
Wii U time? Oh yeah, New York time.
I got it.
Yes! Initially, when I heard about 1-2 Switch, the game, I thought these micro games would be included in the software, as they are basically tech demonstrations for how stupid the Joy console controllers are. Boy, was I wrong! Nintendo is actually charging you, yes you, James in Florida, $49.99 plus tax. It should be criminal! Ow! That they do not include this software with the brand new, extremely skeptical Switch device, where Nintendo needs to regain some goodwill with its customers who have been wronged by any idiot who's bought a Wii U. I mean, all the blindly faithful Nintendo Weeaboo cuckboys are idiots. Okay. Look, my wife actually works with... Very nice. My wife actually works with special needs children.
Oh, no.
And it appears this entire 1-2 Switch bundle will make a perfect addition to her classroom.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
From the release footage and hands-on events, it appears to be around 20 micro games in this $50 package. Incredible things such as swinging a bat, swordplay, answer telephone, milk a tit,
What?
perform air guitar, Harry Potter tutorial, broke girl yoga pose, shave pube face, lifeguard, and of course my favorite, eat sandwich. Riveting stuff, I know.
Yeah.
Overall, this is by far one of the stupidest things Nintendo has ever done by not packaging these tech demos into the device itself to share its features with friends or family who would like to know what this stupid shit is like. Instead, Nintendo insists on milking your wallet for every last drop. Until things change. I refuse to support these business practices, and I must give 1-2 Switch a good old negative 1-2-0 out of 10.
Woo! That was real harsh, but thanks, Shibs, I think. I mean, that just goes to show that Nintendo doesn't give a shit about you.
It was ethical.
Yeah, they're like, cool, people will buy whatever we sell them,
Yeah.
so why would we give them anything for free? Makes sense.
Hey, and while you're here and mad at me, Power Rangers look like shit too.
I enjoyed the trailer. I thought
think
it
it
was
looks
fun.
like
I think
that.
the ending of the trailer looks garbage. It looks like Transformers.
You're an
but-
adult who's interested in that? Kill yourself.
Anyways, yeah. Click the link at the top of the description. Go subscribe to our new channel, ETC Party Time. We're going to be playing games over there. We're going to have friends on over there. You're going to know some of their names. You're going to hate some. You're going to love some. We're going to put Tugs there. Go subscribe to that channel right now so that we can launch it. And we'll see you guys next time. Go buy, while it still lasts, we have Tugs shirts on etcmerch.com. There's one that says gaming sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also one that says ethical games journalist.
Yeah.
So now you can be one of us.
So don't kill yourself. Buy our merch.
Thank you. Bye.